Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Mayakala. And not really sure what I'm going to call this, but the first verse that I want to bring out is Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 says, "So the Most High created man in his own image. In the image of the Most High created he him, male and female created he them." So he created males and females. And the Most High blessed them, and the Most High said unto them, "Be fruitful and multiply." This is what he said to the male and the female. "And replenish the earth," because you can't replenish the earth without having a male and female. "And subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth." So Yahweh created male and female. I'm going to go to ChatGPT. And I asked ChatGPT what is, and I pray that I'm pronouncing this correctly. It said, I put in, what is in vitro gametogenesis? And it says, in vitro gametogenesis, or IVG, is an emerging reproductive technology where scientists create eggs or sperm, gametes. So that's where they're getting this word gametogenesis. Egg or sperm, these are gametes, from ordinary body cells like skin or blood cells in a laboratory. So they're taking skin cells and they're making out of them what they want to make out of it. These wicked scientists, they're making eggs or making sperm, gametes. It says, here's the idea in plain terms. Normally, eggs and sperm are produced in ovaries or testes. With IVG, researchers take a regular cell and reprogram it into a stem cell, often using techniques related to induced pluripotent stem cells. And if I remember, I'm going to look up that pluripotent in a minute. It says that stem cell is then guided to develop into an egg or sperm cell in a lab dish, which is in vitro, meaning outside the body. And it says why it matters. It says IVG could potentially help people with infertility have genetically related children, allow same-sex couples to both contribute genetic material to a child. All right, because in wicked Babylon, what you call America, same-sex marriage is allowed, which is wicked, which is an abomination. Extend reproductive options beyond current biological limits. It says the current status. It says it has been successfully demonstrated in animals like mice In humans, it's still experimental and not available as a clinical treatment. So if they're saying it's still experimental, what does that mean? That means they're doing this with humans. So not only have they done it with mice, but they're currently working on it with humans. It says there are major ethical, legal, and safety concerns still being debated. There ain't no debate. This shit is wicked. You're doing this for the purpose of two males, same-sex couples being able to wickedly bring about a soulless child in a lab. Because we just read what Yahweh created. He created male and female in order to bring forth life. Without the presence of a male and a female, anything else that is produced by scientists in a lab is wickedness. Key challenges, it says ensuring lab-made gametes are healthy and safe, preventing genetic abnormalities, addressing ethical questions, examples creating embryos from any cell. So this is wickedness. This is wicked behavior by the scientists just because they want to be like the Most High, like Yahweh. They want to be able to have the power to create life without male and a female coming together, engaging in intercourse. That's how you produce life. That's how you bring forth a child. So they're showing you another reason why this place has to be destroyed, because with their scientists and their technology, this wickedness has abounded, and they are bold enough to try to go into a lab and bring forth life, producing by manipulating cells into making them into eggs or sperm in order to bring them together outside of a woman's womb. So they have some type of incubator in which they do this thing in order to bring forth what they call life. I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 6. This is just plain wickedness. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart," meaning his mind, "was only evil continually." And you can see a great example of this today. This evil, wicked behavior still continues, because through the use of their technology, they have just gone overboard. All right, they want to, because of their wicked laws of same-sex marriages, they want to be able to bring forth what they call life in a laboratory. All right, and interesting enough, Easteen was working on this same type of thing. What he wanted to do was try to bring forth life so that he wouldn't have to do what he'd been doing with children, with young women. All right, I'm gonna continue on in verse 6. It says, "And it repented the Lord Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart." Verse 7, "And the Lord Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping thing, and fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them. So, but today what they're doing with this IVG, see, because this happened in what we're reading right here in Genesis 6, it repented the Lord that he had made man for the folly, for the wickedness that had come upon the earth at this time. And what did he do? He destroyed all the souls with the exception of the 8 members of Noah's family, along with those that livestock that he had taken as he was instructed to put aboard the ark to be able to replenish the earth after it had been destroyed by water. So that's what we're seeing today. We're seeing the wickedness of man through his technology, through the use of these scientists who want to go into a lab in order to make it so that these same-sex couples, and not only that, it can be just one person, because if they can manipulate the cell to make it egg or sperm, they can take one person and take cells and make an egg and make sperm, put them together and put them in their incubation process and create what they call a child, what they call life. So not only can 2 of the same sex people do it, but one person. They want one person to be able to bring forth a child, which is why they mentioned how they're working on not having abnormalities once these children are produced, which is wickedness. All right, I'm gonna go to Matthew, because you're seeing why this place has to be destroyed. All right, because there's all type of wickedness that's taking place. All right, and I hadn't heard about this until I had heard it on a news show about them, and I believe, trying to remember exactly where they're doing this, and I can't remember right off the top of my head where they're doing this. But I'm going to go to Matthew chapter 24. And read verse 22, and it says, this is in red letter, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking in the second. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right, and we're at the beginning stages of the tribulation. All right, and you're seeing all type of wickedness being perpetrated on the earth. This is why the days have to be shortened. This is why this place has to be destroyed, because for the elect's sake, all right, that they be able to successfully be taken off of this planet when those nuclear or those ICBM missiles hit. All right, this is why the Lord has to do this. This is why the Lord has to destroy this place, because the wickedness has abound. Wickedness is all over, and man is doing all type of abominations, such as doing this IVG that they're talking about. All right, so this place has to be destroyed because it's just wicked. And just like Job 9:24 says, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. All right, and you can see what this sons of the wicked, or Esau, so-called white man, this is the type of thing that he wants to do. Through the use of his technology, this is the kind of thing he wants to do. He wants to bring forth all type of abominations. I'm gonna go to 2 Thessalonians. Because see, it's being revealed who's bringing forth this wickedness, these wicked acts. All right. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. gonna go down to verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing this wicked man. Now that it's being revealed, he don't really care to even hide himself anymore. With all these wicked laws that he has passed, he's proceeding to go further and further. Every day you hear about another abomination in which this wicked man, this so-called white man, is going to bring forth. He's just pushing the envelope every day on how much wickedness he can do. Salaki, I'm going to continue on here too. Verse 9, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 9 is, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right, I'm going to read that in the NLT. It says, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction, because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. But there ain't no saving this wicked man. All right, he's going to be destroyed for his wickedness. If you want to take the technology that you've been given and want to attempt to go into a lab and produce children through a lab, instead of doing it the way the Lord intended for us to bring forth life, that's wickedness, and you deserve to be destroyed. And it's about time, because the time is getting short because of the things that they're doing on this earth. I'm going to read verse 11 in the NLT also. So the Most High will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. See, they actually believe they're okay. This is acceptable behavior. All right, to go into a lab and produce a soulless child. Verse 12 says, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. All right, rather than doing it the way the Lord has set forth for us to be able to bring forth life by male and female, because they've passed all kind of wicked laws with same-sex marriages. Or you don't even have to be, doesn't even have to be same-sex marriage. You can marry a damn tree. You can marry a damn dog, because that's how wicked this society is. So that's why this place needs to be destroyed. All right, and the last verse that I wanted to bring out, I'm going to go back to the book of Matthew. I'm going back into chapter 24. Verse 37 says, and this is in the red letter, so this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So, and the day of the Lord, when Yahweh Shai returns to destroy this place, man's going to be doing the same type of wicked behavior that he was doing in the time of Noah, when Noah was building an ark. But see, it's not going to be destroyed by water this time. It's going to be by those ICBM missiles that are coming, those nuclear missiles that are going to come and destroy this place with fire. and it's going to burn up and consume all this wickedness. Only the elect will be saved out of this place. All right, and those are the elect Israelites. Says verse 38, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And so, even though you're seeing signs today that we're getting closer and closer to the day of the Lord approaching, most people aren't even paying attention. They're going about their normal wicked ways, doing the wicked things that they do. And you see, just like I said, I just talked about this in vitro gametogenesis. They're going about their own wicked behavior, doing the things that they want to do because they think it's in their hands. They think they have the power to be able to do whatever they want to do, just because they have these scientists who can go into this lab and bring forth wickedness. All right. But I think I've made the point there, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. And I pray that this has been edifying to the listener. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Shalom.